Ignore me. I'll be my unapologetic bitchy self when I get back. Promise. The laughter in his voice turned to worry. Listen to you. You sound exhausted. When was the last time you got some sleep? I'm fine. Sweetie knew she couldn't talk about it. He hadn't once asked for details. This was why he was her best friend. He was completely at ease around secrets. Joy's brushing his teeth. You know you need your strength for the audition next month, he said. She mumbled something. She knew Sweetie had pulled every string he could to get her the audition with Bollywood's top dance troupe, a dream she could almost touch after working toward it for 5 years. And here she was 1,000,000 miles away, where the last thing on her mind was which bloody troupe she'd danced with. He called out to Joy. Joy, Mama's on the phone, son. Brushing done? Her baby's sweet mouth had to be dripping white foam. The bubblegum smell of his toothpaste lumped in her throat. She always made him count 10 brushstrokes for each tooth, and he did it as though her word were law. 7-year-olds were supposed to be willful, but it had probably never even occurred to Joy that he could argue with her. Mama? With every one of her senses, she gathered up his voice. Hi, Joy boy. 10 times on each tooth. I counted. Her sweet, sweet baby. You sure? She said as sternly as she could manage. Because you don't... I know. I don't want worms to dig holes in my analbum. Germs, Babu, not worms. She heard a soft smack, his palm striking his forehead, and a self-conscious cluck. Yeah, that. Are you taking good care of Sweetie Mamu? I'm trying, but he won't stop drinking so many coffees. I told him you'd be angry if you found out, but... There was a pause, and he lowered his voice to a whisper. But he told me not to tell you. She laughed, and the sweet pain in her heart made her whole again. You keep trying. All we can do is try, remember? Mama? Yeah, Babu? I made you something in school, but you don't have to come home soon to see it. Sheila teacher said she'll keep it carefully for you, okay? It took her a moment to respond without letting her voice crack. Mama will be home as soon as she can. And you know what? Yes, I know. I know your heart is with me. And yes, I'm taking good care of it for you. Good, because hearts are important. Her hand went to her chest, the still unfamiliar raised scar pushed into her hand. It was only fair that it still hurt. I love you, my joy baby boy. Mama's kissing you and holding you. Can you feel it? There was silence on the phone, and she knew he had squeezed his eyes shut, imagining her arms around him. Did you feel mine? Of course I did, but I didn't hear the kiss. The smacking of his lips was so loud and clear, she soaked up the sound and held on to it. I love you most in the world, Mama. Hey, Sweetie's voice was back on the phone. What about me? Is he rolling his eyes at you? She asked, biting her lip. Of course he is, and he does it even better than you. Thanks, Sweetie. Her teeth dug into her lip. Tears were a luxury she couldn't afford either. Thank me by coming home safe. She made an incoherent sound and let him go. Her safety wasn't the issue. How she wished it was, but it wasn't. She watched Jens Nikhil tuck his white uniform shirt into his white pants and walk out of the clinic. He always seemed to move as if an invisible crane were pulling him forward, always against his will. Why a doctor had to dress like a cruise ship purser, she had no idea. But despite the fact that the uniform was ironed and clean, he managed to make it look almost as soiled as his vomit-streaked t-shirt from last night.